All right, a guy told me last week he would never buy a home in Phoenix because his sister paid $150K in 2003. Okay, Phoenix is not 2003 anymore. We have grown. We're the fifth largest city in the nation. So let's dive in and see what it costs to live in Greater Phoenix. Okay, so your lifestyle out here is really going to affect your cost of living. If you want to live in Scottsdale, Paradise Valley, Arcadia, you're going to be pushing 7 figures for a home, right? And obviously your mortgage and your home is going to be the main cost line. So the median home prices out here are still well above pre-COVID levels, but they have really leveled off since our 2022 frenzied peak. And even though the housing market has cooled, even slipping towards a buyer's market, move-in ready homes that are updated in good locations are still bringing multiple offers. And if you're new to Phoenix and you're thinking of relocating out here, you're definitely gonna wanna budget for a new AC, for resurfacing your pool, for window coverings and blinds. Remember in like the 90s, you used to budget for like a CD release at Sam Goody. That's how I feel right now. Like I get excited to save up for, new tinting on my car or something. So let's talk about rents, okay? The median 2-bedroom apartment out here rents around $1,500 to $1,600 a month, just depending on your area, location, the amenities. If you're looking to live in Scottsdale, Paradise Valley, you're going to be paying $2,500, $3K a month if you want something along those lines. Of course, the outskirts of town also get more affordable, but there are certain areas that don't even have apartments. If you're looking at new construction homes, expect to see those on the outskirts of town for the most part. Think Surprise, Buckeye, Queen Creek, East Mesa, Santan Valley, North Phoenix by Anthem. The median, I would say, new home price right now is about $550K. Of course, the further out you go, the more affordable. I have seen homes way out in like Maricopa starting at like $299 for a new build. But remember, new build homes, you still have to budget. They don't have landscaping. They typically don't have appliances, don't have window covering. So, however, I will say that builders are throwing incentives at people right now. So even if it seems expensive, they will buy down your rate and you can negotiate in some of those extra budgeted costs for your appliances, things like that. One thing people are doing right now is quite a few of our cities have passed new ordinances allowing ADUs or additional dwelling units to be built in the back of properties to help with our affordable housing. So you can live in your property and then Airbnb or rent out this unit that you built. And a lot of people are making additional income that way. And then if you are having rental properties and driving around the city, our gas is typically $3 to $3.50 a gallon for unleaded as well. Of course, unless you go to Costco, always go to Costco, right? Because it's so much cheaper. And if you're thinking about going to a concert out here, we have local venues. We have huge venues downtown Phoenix on the west side at the casinos out here. And you can buy a ticket to these places for, $30. You can pay $2,000 for a premium ticket. We do get all the big shows, anything from Tool to Taylor Swift, as well as local favorites Authority Zero. So there definitely is a good range of entertainment. But again, as I said, where you live in Greater Phoenix and the things you like to do is of course going to affect your cost of living. And let's talk about schooling. Yes, we're not known for having the best school system. However, we do have really amazing charter schools and private schools out here, Montessori schools. We do have school choice or open enrollment out here. You can get a voucher. I believe it's around $7,000 a semester if you qualify. So there are many people taking advantage of that and putting their kids in private school to get that little bit better higher education for them. So we do have a lot of opportunity in that sense. And if you want to go to ASU, it's about $11,000 a semester for in-state and about $30,000 a semester for out-of-state. Then we have a ton of community colleges that fill in on the trades, and prices there really range and are competitive with other community colleges around the nation. Okay, now let's talk about taxes. Our property taxes are so much lower than so many other places in the nation, specifically California, which is a huge reason why we have so many people relocating here from California. We have a flat 2.5% income tax. Sales tax in Phoenix ranges from 8.5% to 9%, depending on the city. And again, our property taxes, 0.52% effective rate, or I would say about $2,500 a year on a $500,000 home. Another really cool thing is Social Security isn't taxed out. There's no estate or inheritance tax. Seniors and veterans can freeze or reduce their assessed value. Military retirement is fully exempt. So really the bottom line is long-term ownership out here. The math really does favor Phoenix. Let's talk about healthcare. We are stacked with amazing options. Think Mayo Clinic, Banner Health, and we have urgent cares on literally every single corner. And a lot of them, just do cash pay, and it's usually like $100 to go see a doctor there. A dental visit with no insurance is around $120, and that gets you your x-rays. So we definitely are pretty competitive in those ways. So let's talk a bit more about lifestyle and recreation and amenities and what that costs. So when it's nice out here, we have beautiful mountain ranges. People go hiking, South Mountain, North Scottsdale. I mean, we're surrounded. That's why we're called the Valley. And that is free, right? You can also do a regular gym membership. We have Lifetime Fitness, LA Fitness, Pure Fitness, Every Fitness. And you can do some for $9.99 a month or some for $100 a month. Just depends what kind of gym and what kind of style. If you want to go to the movies, it's about $12 to $15 for a movie ticket. If you want to go to a local coffee shop, it's about $5 for a nice latte, very similar to Starbucks. And we do have a lot of local coffee out here as well. So a lot of those prices are very similar to other areas of the country. Let's talk about groceries. We do run a little bit above the national average. Milk is around $4 a gallon, bread around $4 a loaf, eggs are like $3 to $4 a dozen. Casual meals are like 15 to 20 a person before tip. A nicer restaurant might be 60 to 80 for a couple plus tip for a night out. Then we have some really wonderful high-end restaurants, and those are going to match, your coastal cities, right? You're definitely going to pay a couple $100s if you want to go to a really nice seafood place. So we do have quite a mix of options. Okay, let's talk about utilities. 1,500 square foot, 1-story block home. Definitely think of time of use plans. You do your laundry on off-peak hours. You charge your car with your EV station on off-peak hours. Those are things that are really going to help your electric bill, but expect around $200 a month or so. Most cities out here for your water, sewer, trash are combined into one bill. I would say if you don't have a pool and you have xeriscaping, you're going to look at about $60 to $100 a month for an average water bill. If you have a pool or you have grass, you're going to be looking at a much higher water bill. They do reward you if you go from grass to turf, or if you go to rock and a lot of desert plants. You can get credits back from certain cities as well. But there are certain areas on the outskirts of town where they have private water companies, or maybe there's a well and you have hauled water. So, things can range. Your prices for utilities can range in areas like that. And then as far as internet, we're just getting fiber in certain places out here. Otherwise, we have Cox, CenturyLink, things like that. And it's like $60 to $100 a month for your basic internet and phone connection. So what are some other costs out here? Well, if you live in an HOA, you can pay anywhere from $60 to about $400 a month, roughly. Of course, there's certain communities, a lot in North Scottsdale, if you want to do a golf membership, things like that, you're going to be paying thousands and thousands of dollars. Definitely budget for possibly a soft water system. We do have hard water out here that a lot of people aren't loving. Budget for updates to your windows, extra insulation in your attic. So quick summary on cost of living in Greater Phoenix in 2025 is it really does depend on your lifestyle and what area of town you live in. Again, if you want Paradise Valley or Scottsdale, you're going to be paying a premium. The outskirts of town and a lot of the West Valley are definitely more affordable than the East Valley or Central Phoenix. And depending if you want a new build or resale home, that's going to affect your cost as well. By the way, if we haven't met yet, I'm Andrea Scheppe, a full-time award-winning realtor and Phoenix native out here in the Greater Phoenix area. If you are looking to buy or sell real estate or relocate to the Greater Phoenix area, I would love to help you. I help people from my social media and YouTube channels all the time. I absolutely love it. My information is in the comments below, or visit me at azandrea.com. I have buyer guides, seller guides, relocation guides there, as well as a ChatGPT Living in Phoenix AI guide. So feel free to check all of that out. I really do appreciate you watching. I know your time is valuable, and so thank you so much. And I hope to talk to you all soon to help you with all your Phoenix real estate needs. And I'll see you on my next video. Blue skies, white powder, ecstasy.